Hello everybody. Today we'll cover the lesson 10 and talk about the genitive. Now, the genitive, strictly speaking, is not a case, according to Pāļi, because a case is the relationship between a noun and a verb, whereas the genitive is the relationship between a noun and a noun, or a noun and a pronoun, or pronoun and a pronoun, etc. And by the same token, also the vocative is strictly speaking not a case, because the vocative is just the address of a person for the same reason. But we can still, in not such a strict case, not such a strict way, call the genitive as well as the vocative a case. We just understand, strictly speaking, they're not cases. Now, what is the form of the genitive? We will have a quick look. So masculine noun loko, lokassa, plural loka, lokanang, chittang, chittassa, chittani, chittanang, kata, nominate in singular and plural, kataya singular and katanang plural, bhagava, bhagavato, raja, ranyo, brahma, brahmano, aham, mama, or mamang, or me, the enclitic form, mayang, amhakam, tvang, tava, te, tumhe, tumhakam, so, tat, tassa, sa, tassa, or also eso, etat, etassa, esa, etassa, etassa, te, tani, tesang, ta, tasang, or ete, etani, etesang, eta, etasang, ayang, assa, imassa, or asa, imasa, imesang, imasang, bhavam, boto. Now the genitive has two big meanings, two predominant meanings. It is by the way, the sixth case, the chatti vipatti, and it is also the possessive case or the partitive case. In English, oftentimes this is expressed by of or apostrophe s, or if it's the plural, s and then apostrophe. And the two main things about the genitive is that it denotes the possession or a part of something greater. If we say, for example, here, ranyo tupo, this means a king's monument, so ranyo being the genitive. Moreover, idang asahoti, of him there is this, he has this. So even the word, what we call in English, this have, this verb to have, in Pali, also in Sanskrit, it is expressed in this construction. Of him there was a son, for example. Even tassa evang hoti or ahosi, of him thus it is or was, he has or had this thought, he thinks or thought thus. Even the mental conception would be expressed with such a genitive construction. Furthermore, the genitive of time, it's an idiom consisting of the genitive of the word denoting the period plus acchayena, which means something like after or by the elapse of, and expresses the time after which or through the passage of which something is done. So sattaha satchayena papachisama, literally, by the elapse of 7 days, we will go forth, meaning after a week we will go forth. Mama acchayena, after me, or after I have passed away, or after my death or parinibbana. There's a peculiar thing which is called the subjective genitive as well as the objective genitive, also the agent genitive as well as the patient genitive. Now this thing expresses also in English when the genitive is also referring, when the action is also referring to a genitive. One second. If you, for example, say the boy's washing, then the boy's washing, it can be ambivalent. It can either be that the boy is the one who does the washing, or the boy is the object of the washing itself. And then it looks like this. So either agent or subjective, the boy's washing was vigorous. The boy is the one who's doing the washing, or the boy's washing was vigorous, meaning the washing of the boy. I cannot express it otherwise, meaning the boy is the patient or the object of the sentence. So the boy is the one being washed. So maybe we got a little bit of an idea about it. When we say now, for example, as an example for subjective genitive, Brahmanasse Puchito Sonadando, Sonadanda was honored, Puchito, of the priest, meaning in English then by the priest. Or Yesam Devam Aditta, of whom Yesam, the gods, Deva, are unseen, meaning those who have not seen the gods. And as an example for the objective genitive, ahang tassa yanyassa yajeta, I, ahang, was the performer, yajeta, of that sacrifice, tassa yanyassa. Here, tassa yanyassa is the object of the sentence. Furthermore, when we add this adjective puram, then we can express something in regard to filling. So kumbing purang suvanassa, a pot kumbing full purang of gold, suvanassa. Even in a bit of a instrumental sense, the pot is filled with gold, one can also say. Some genitives, sometimes the genitive is combined with certain indeclinables. For example, pittito, behind me, or behind. So for example, me pittito, behind me, podato, in front of. So me podato, in front of me. Antarena, kayanang antarena, between the bodies. And lastly, there's this construction which is called the genitive absolute. And with the genitive absolute, it is a construction which consists of of a noun and a pronoun, both in the genitive case. Or a noun or a pronoun followed by a participle. I mean, this construction stands apart from the other words of the sentence and is sort of bracketed off, and it has the meaning something like while. So it gives the simultaneity of the action, or also despite of. So while he was doing the participle, or despite he was doing the participle. So the subject of the absolute construction is not the subject of the main sentence. So that we have two different subjects, unlike, for example, constructions with the gerund, the absolutive. The genitive absolute is useful for constructing a sentence with two subjects, but the similarity but the similarly constructed locative absolute is much more frequently used, not being restricted to special circumstances. We will come to the locative absolute after some time. So the genitive absolute has often a special meaning of disregarding. So despite the noun or the pronoun is doing the participle, or under one's very nose, or as when the participle means seeing or looking on. So te lasse jaya manasse, as the oil was, or as the oil is burning, or while the oil te lasse is burning, jaya manasse. And here mata pitunang rudantang, although his parents mata pitunang were weeping rudantanang, or despite their weeping, papachito, he went forth. Even we have another example of this. So here one more time, mata pitunang rudantanang rajaputto papachito, although his parents mata pitunang were weeping rudantanang, the prince Rajaputto Papachito went forth. Or Evang Purohitassa Vadamanassa Rajapakami. So when the high priest Purohitassa said thus, or while the high priest is saying thus, Rajaputto, Raja, the king, went away Pakami. Or even despite the fact that the high priest is saying thus or speaking thus, the king went away. Notice these two subjects always, two different subjects. Okay. Then we have a little bit more vocabulary. Masculine noun, anto, side and extreme, jayo, victory, daso, slave, bago, share, yanyo, sacrifice or sacrifice ritual, telang, oil or sesame oil, bayang, danger, ratanang, gem, precious thing, sarirang, body, or even in the plural, it can mean bodily relics, suvarnang, gold, and a few undeclinables, antarena, between, chiram, for a long time or after a long time, pana, but however, riktito, behind, purato, before, in front of, and one past participle, aropita, disproved. By the way, if you don't fully comprehend the genitive absolute construction yet, rest assured it will occur only rarely. So that's all right. You will get it after some time. Okay, Vanadasanaya, Tavapaveya, Subham Mangalam.